Hello, amazing people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are hearing the sound of my voice from at this time. And I want to say I'm extremely delighted, to be in your midst once again, okay? And still on the Ooni Of Ife and Queen Naomi Chronicle, and the narratives that is going out there. I'm doing this video, basically to respond to some of the inboxes that I have received, hearing some of you, have been asking, what if Queen Naomi had never left the palace? What could have been the possibility of so many other things, great things happening to her? And you guys, wanted me, to talk about that. That is, if she had never left, the possibilities or the impossibilities, as a lot of you put it, So today's story, is basically about that, okay? Just looking around what could have been, okay? So so Queen Naomi's departure, okay? I'm going to start this way. Queen Naomi's departure from the Ooni of Ife's palace, remains one of the most talked about moments in Yoruba royalty. And based on popular demand, like I said, we are looking at these issues surrounding that question itself. What if she had never left? Okay, so would she become the most powerful queen in, Ile-Ife history, or would she have, faced even greater challenges? These thought-provoking questions, will, kind of help us explore the possible alternatives, alternative realities, as you want to put it, of her staying in the palace and the implications, whether good or bad. Okay, that is what we are going to be looking at straight away. Okay, so the question would be, okay, would she have become the most powerful Olori in Ife history, assuming she had not left when she left? As we all know or have come to realize, Queen Naomi was not, and is not just another wife. Okay, she was a queen and a woman adored by the public, every one of us. And that is why you see the groundswell of support she has gotten, or she's still getting up to this moment. If you go to the internet, as long as you just put Ooni of Ife's palace or anything that has to do with the palace, the first thing that pops up is Queen Naomi. She's got a very, very huge groundswell of support all over Nigeria and beyond. Okay, so so I mean, so these are the so that is why it's good for us to look at the possibilities, or otherwise, if she had remained, okay? So let me take a peep into her spiritual influence on the palace and even Ooni of Ife, you know. So as a prophetess, she had a very strong spiritual influence, or you want to put it, presence, that set her apart. And this has been spoken about by a lot of commentators, on the Ooni of Ife Palace history. She could have used this to redefine the role of an Ife queen, blending her Christian faith with Yoruba tradition. This could have been a possibility. You never know. Now let's look at her public support. Unlike many past queens, Naomi had an unusual level of public support, and she still has that, even as I do this video. So her continued presence could have made her an unstoppable force, perhaps even leading the policy change within the palace. You never can tell. This could have been a possibility. Okay. Then, when you want to talk about her women empowerment programs, the scholarship scheme and several other things that that you guys are already aware of. These are all possibilities, okay? And I don't even want to talk too much about this, but let's even look at this issue of women empowerment, and several other schemes that she put in place, even the scholarship. Could she have changed history, by making the position of Olori more powerful and influential in Ile-Ife traditional system? That is a very high possibility. Don't forget that even after she has left the palace, some of the schemes she put in place were continued, regardless of the fact that she wasn't physically in the palace. Okay. Then another thing to look at is, would Ooni of Ife have gone ahead to marry this avalanche of women if she had remained? Okay, one of the biggest changes, since Queen Naomi left the palace is the issue of Uni's marriage to multiple women in quick succession. Okay, but would this have happened really if she had stayed? Was the decision to go after these women Ooni of Ife's reaction or protest against that Queen Naomi's infamous separation, on Instagram? Don't forget that after she made this announcement, that has now become very infamous, a lot of people, started, according to the reports, the rumors, in some quarters, Ooni of Ife even attested to some of these rumors that people started mocking him, asking what kind of KBC is this? He doesn't have a wife, blah, blah, blah. And the rest. Could that action, be the reason why Ooni of Ife just said, okay, you know what, I'm going to have so many of them at the same time? Possibly, like some people have insinuated, Pepper, Queen Naomi. These are just questions and questions I'm asking. Another possibility is if she had stayed, is the fact that could have stayed, if she had stayed, could that have strengthened the bond between her and Ooni of Ife, thereby reducing the need for him to marry other women? This is a very high possibility. Because if she had stayed and their bond continued to grow, regardless of the intrigues that was going around within the palace, possibly maybe the bond will have been enough for Ooni of Ife not to even think about that. That is a possibility. Although polygamy is part of Ile-Ife's tradition, Naomi's presence might have slowed, or even prevented the rapid expansion of Ooni of Ife's harem of women as they are in the palace today. So that possibility is very, very much there. So did her exit create the vacuum? Very most likely, if you ask me. Her presence might have been the trigger, or sorry, her absence, could have been the trigger for Ooni of Ife, to have taken on these multiple wives, filling the space she left. Don't forget that the fact that Queen Ami left a very big vacuum, okay, that even just one wife or two or three couldn't have filled. Even with the six of them right now, I tell you that there's still a vacuum. And that is what possibly explains why Ooni of Ife is reported to be making all attempts to bring her back to the fold. Okay? But another area of concern is would the palace politics have been different? Okay? Every palace is normally filled with internal politics, and the Ooni of Ife's palace is no different. So if Queen Naomi had stayed, how would things have played out even by now? Well, this is still within the realm of. Let me just say, I can't really answer this right now. It could have been either way, however. Okay, so handling of internal rivalries. Palace insiders often speak of power struggle among the Oloris and the royal members. So will Queen Naomi have been able to outmaneuver them? Who knows? Possibly because there would have even been another Olori, or maybe if there was one or two, Queen Naomi being her usual self, with all her beautiful aura and spirit, who knows, could have been able to maneuver all this. Okay, and don't forget the issue of clash of traditions. So if she had remained, would she have been able to negotiate a way to integrate Christian values, that's Christian values, into the palace, without facing resistance? Don't forget a lot of people have said this was part of the problem, ab initio. Okay? So supporters within the palace, will have continued will have maybe continue to give her the kind of groundswell of support, who knows? Okay. And would she have regretted staying, assuming, looking at all the permutations right now, assuming she decided to stay, would she have regretted staying? Okay, while staying in the palace could have meant more power, it also could have led to more emotional and psychological challenges. Don't forget that it is actually because of these emotional and psychological challenges that propelled her to make that infamous Instagram separation announcement in the first place. So, if she had stayed, would she have regretted, or would the emotional and psychological challenges have increased? That is a possibility. Could she have truly, been herself while conforming to the strict rules of the Yoruba royalty? If she has stayed, will Oni still go ahead to have married these women? Would she have faced constant conflict? Would remaining in the palace have affected her health, peace of mind, or spiritual calling? Well, all these are still questions that a lot of you can even answer right now, because these are part of the reasons why she was frustrated out of the place in the first place. Okay, so the question I want to ask all of us now is, did she make the right decision, by leaving? Well, let me say, looking at all the possibilities, one key question remains. Okay, so which is just what I asked now. Did Queen Naomi make the right decision by leaving? Or did she miss out on an opportunity to redefine history? If she had stayed, she might have been the most powerful Olori in the history of Ileife. If she had stayed, she might have prevented Ooni of Ife from this rapid polygamous expansion that is currently engaging in right now. If she had stayed, she might have suffered even more challenges behind closed door, like you and I already know. Okay? Now, there has been this mounting clamor for her return. We all know that. Ooni of Ife was rumored to have agreed in principle to allow her choose any country of her choice after she has agreed to her being reintroduced into the palace. That is what we know about the going on between both of them of recent. So, in the end, I want to ask, is her destiny tied to the palace, or is she meant for something greater outside of it? This is the question I'm asking right now. So while waiting, for the outcome of her decision whether to return back to the palace or not, I mean, should she have? The question I want to ask is: should she have stayed, or did she make the best decision by leaving? Please, I want you to be part of this conversation. Okay, please leave your comments in the comment section. I'm going to meet you right there. Okay, so this is the story that I've made this time, because some of you inbox me asking about these possibilities, and I had to put this out there. So I want you to be part of this conversation. Did she make a mistake by leaving in the first place? And if she had not even left, would things have been better for her or not? Please leave your comment in the comment section. I'm going to meet you right there. But don't forget, before I go, that this story is still within the realm of speculation and rumors. And please, it shouldn't be taken as a fact. Okay? So I'm going to be right back. God bless you. Bye bye.